Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is an interesting one. We're back to talk about the casting for season 18 when it comes to the Real Housewives of Orange County, because we've heard two totally separate sides of this. And then I wanted to do some digging of my own, so that's exactly what I did. Also, Heather Dubrow was sharing why she decided to come back to the show. We're going to talk about that as well before we jump in to all of the OC madness. And it's kind of crazy to me, real quick. I just want to say OC went from like bottom of the barrel. I felt like they were going to get Dallas or Miami and just get the boot, to one of the most talked about franchises. And I don't know if that's because Tamara's back or not. Let's get into it.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
All right, you guys. So our good friends over at TV Deets, they ended up sharing that they got word that Real Housewives of Orange County for season 18, that production and the network, they were very happy with the current cast. This would be the current cast. We have Shannon Storms Bedore, Tamra Judge, Jennifer Pedranti. We have Heather Dubrow, Gina Kirschenheiter, and Emily Simpson. I think that this is a great cast. I really do. However, when TV Deets was speaking about it, they were saying that they got word that it was going to be the exact same cast going into it. And before I talk about the fact that RadarOnline.com is debunking this, I wanted to just share my casting opinions really quick. I've said this on Hot Messy Topics before, but I think that Heather Dubrow really belongs on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I think that they should bring Vicki Gunvalson back. I did post in our community tab, do you guys think so? And a lot of people said, no, we're done. That's a wrap on Vicki Gunvalson. That chapter is closed. But I do believe she'll be back. However, I think if we got rid of Heather Dubrow and put her on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we brought in Vicki Gunvalson, then the Tres Amigas would end up taking over, and Jennifer Pedranti, Emily Simpson, and Gina Kirschenheiter would not stand a chance in this dynamic. That's why I really feel like they would need to bring somebody in who has no problem challenging them, like a Kelly Dodd. That's not the most popular opinion, but that is how I feel. And I think that that would make for great TV, because Heather Dubrow really is not doing anything to these women. And even Kelly, when I had Rick and Kelly on a couple months ago, Kelly said, I felt like this was sort of a gang up. Those weren't her words exactly, but it was something to that effect. Like, I actually felt bad for her, aside for the fact that she threatened to sue me. I think it was something like that. I think that the only problem that they have with her is that she has this extremely opulent lifestyle, and that she has a lot more money than the rest of the cast. In Beverly Hills, that's not even nobody cares. You had Kathy Hilton, you had Diana Jenkins, Kyle Richards has a ton of money. I mean, so Crystal Kung Minkoff, she's married to Rob Minkoff, who I believe he directed The Lion King. There's a lot of money in Beverly Hills, so it's not the same like, oh, you think you're better. It's just like, no, it's kind of to be expected. But wait, this is what RadarOnline.com had to say. So the Bravo Mill was abuzz after reports surfaced that all or most of the cast from the OC set would be returning for season 18. But Radar has learned that no decision has been made on which housewives or newbies will get their orange. Now, rumors began swirling after TV Deets podcast host Brett said that everyone is going to be invited back for season 18, saying he had insight as to who would make a comeback, including OC star Vicki Gunvalson, who returned as a guest this past season. I do believe she'll be back. But sources close to production told RadarOnline.com on Friday that it's way too early to even talk about season 18, considering the reunion just aired. One insider claimed that they'd be shocked if any conversation about casting has happened yet, despite a few choices being a no-brainer, like Shannon Bedore, who was recently arrested for her DUI and hit and run. Now, I'm told that with Shannon Bedore's DUI arrest, producers want to follow the aftermath of how that impacted the group. I agree with Brett on that 100%. And he added that producers and the network were really happy with the fan engagement this year, and all of the ladies stepped up to the plate to deliver, mentioning that he's heard newbie Jennifer Pedranti is expected to return, as well as Taylor Armstrong, who will likely keep her friend of Housewives role. See, I don't ever want to see anybody get fired, but I don't think that we need Taylor Armstrong on the show. I think that there could be a more dynamic woman that we could bring in, and just someone who's not so housewivesy, someone who doesn't have like the iconic lines and the, this is going to be the dirtiest reunion ever. I feel like we don't need that. Like there's somebody else who's out there who's just going to come in, bring in another Fancy Pants, bring in another woman, let Heather Dubrow bring in someone who has that. The problem is a lot of people who have these over the top opulent lifestyles. Again, another thing that Kelly Dodd said in one of our interviews, when you have that kind of FU money, why do you want to be on a show like this? For people to just rip you apart, your character, your family life, all of that. Usually most people don't. It makes a lot of sense. A lot of people do it for the paycheck. But for Radar Online, their well-connected insider said it's premature for anything to be set in stone, revealing, I don't believe these conversations have happened yet. So Brett said that the OG of the OC, Vicki Gunvalson, is also expected to return in some capacity, but had no details. An insider shared that that's a given, considering she made a splash with her appearance. Well, it was a few appearances last season. And Andy Cohen recently revealed that Vicki will be honored with the first time ever Lifetime Achievement Award at next month's BravoCon in Las Vegas. But he also claimed that producers are eyeing OC alums like Alexis Bellino and Gretchen Rossi. I'm going to say no to both of them. Bellino's comeback was also a rumor after season 16, and RadarOnline.com was told that it was between Bellino and Tamra Judge. And obviously, Tamra Judge was way more of a shoo-in. But Heather Dubrow has repeatedly said that Alexis deserves to land a spot on the cast again, especially now that she's ended her engagement. And Brett said that his sources claim no former offers have been handed out to newbies. But Radar has confirmed that it extends to the entire cast, including Tamra, Shannon, Heather, Jennifer Pedranti, Taylor Armstrong, Gina Kay, and Emily Simpson. All right. Now, speaking of which, a lot of people wanted to know why Heather Dubrow decided to make her comeback to the Real Housewives of Orange County. And she had a few things to say. And I thought that the way that she explained it, I just thought it was really good. And this was on Nick Biles' podcast, The Bio Files. She said, my oldest daughter, one of the twins, had come out as bisexual during the pandemic, and it was shocking and not shocking how she was received. So there were a lot of messages of love and support, and there were also just heartbreaking messages. Kids that had to leave home and kids that had taken their own lives and just really horrible stories. And I thought, you know what? This is such a huge platform. And I thought, well, maybe I can show our normal family and start conversations in other people's families. So she and I talked about it, and I'm like, look, would you be willing, your book is coming out. If we go back on the show, can I throw, which I would have thrown anyway, a party for your book launch? And would you be okay filming it? And she said, yes. She was totally interested in having that conversation to help people. But she said also from there, what she didn't realize was that her third child, who is gay, she said, I knew she was gay, but what I didn't realize was that we would be filming, which we were. And there was a scene last year in season 16 where we were gardening. And she says to me out of the blue, I think I'm going to take my lesbian flag down. And I said, why? She goes, well, I was on TikTok and I posted something and it was in the background and someone made a comment and it just turned into this completely normal mother-daughter conversation that was what Heather's calling so amazing and beautiful. And after we were done, I said to her, I'm like, hey, are you cool with this? Because she was younger and she was like, do you think it'll help people? And I said, I do. And she goes, yeah, I'm good with it. And it did. And it turned into like such a beautiful thing. So again, I don't tell my children stories for them, but when they want to talk about it, if that's something that they want to explore, that's great. And what I can tell you is in the last, couple of years since we've been back on the show, we've been able to do exactly that. And with what's going on in the country right now, which is very, very scary from so many LGBTQIA plus community members, especially people of color or trans women of color, it's so sad. I truly believe that people with the platform need to speak. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So if you ask me why I'm here, it's that. I think that's very commendable. And that also, I'm in Cancer. So, guys, I want to hear what your thoughts are. Go ahead and comment below. I love you guys. I want to hear what your casting predictions are for season 18 as well. Leave that in the comments, and we'll see you next time.